here. Today I'm going to be talking about traveling on a budget. A lot of people see me traveling and they think that I'm spending a ton of money, and I don't have a lot of money, just being honest. I am a budget traveler. I save a ton of money a year. I don't spend $1,000 to go places. I don't at all. Someone here could tell me about their trip to like LA and how much money they spent. I'm like, damn, I went to Costa Rica for a week and didn't even spend that much money. There are several websites that give you daily deals every single day. So that's Airfare Watchdog, theflightdeal.com, Secret Flying, and then I also have a website called ATL Cheap Flights, which is a site where I curate Atlanta deals, and I search every single morning looking for the best deals, looking for glitches, looking for sale prices, all over the United States, and then of course internationally, mostly internationally. So if you check those sites daily, you'll definitely be on point, because then that way you can see what deals are available, but you have to be ready to book ASAP. If you find a great deal from somewhere that's close by, take it if it's a deal. So for example, there was a glitch fare that I bought last year, $127 to Abu Dhabi from New York, $127 to the United Arab Emirates. Like, that doesn't happen. So from here to Dubai or Abu Dhabi from Atlanta, the flight's $800 generally at the lowest. I can fly to New York for $200 round trip, which means that my entire trip would cost $330 versus $800 for me to fly from Atlanta. Don't set your sights on just looking for your city. Look for close cities that don't cost that much for you to get to. Like for example, I'm in Atlanta, so I look for deals from Charlotte, Miami, New York, and DC. There are some great deals, but don't just set your sights on your city. That's what I was talking about. Miami, $48 round trip. Then I can fly somewhere else from there, especially if you're going to Central or South America from Miami. From Miami, flights may be like $120 round trip. So it's worth it for me to spend $48 to get to Miami to only spend $120 to get to Central or South America. And I just saved $400 instead of getting my ticket straight from Atlanta. Don't set your sights on just one place to go. So if you know you want to go to, let's say I wanted to go to Paris a couple years ago. So the Paris tickets were like $1,000. So I decided to look, and I thought about it, and I said, okay, let me look at some other surrounding cities that may be cheaper to get to, and then I can just hop on the train or hop on a local airliner to get there. So if you're flying to Europe, fly to the cheapest place that you can get to. So I searched every major city in Europe, from Amsterdam to London, Berlin, Frankfurt, Brussels, everywhere. The cheapest ended up being Barcelona. Barcelona ended up costing me maybe $600. So maybe a little over $600 from Atlanta there, and it was during the summertime. Now, I really wanted to go to Paris, but I said, hey, you know what? Why not go to Barcelona? Once you get to Europe, it's so easy to get to other places once you're there. So that's a good thing. So I got to Barcelona, spent a couple days there, got to Paris for like, I think like $100 round trip on EasyJet. So if you're flying to Europe, EasyJet is it. Definitely make sure you do EasyJet, because if you buy tickets in advance, your round trip tickets around Europe could be like literally $20 US round trip. So it's an amazing deal. Like, get there, just get to Europe. Once you get there, figure out everything else and get your whole like $20 round trip ticket on EasyJet. And you can pretty much get anywhere in Europe on that airline. So it's definitely worth it, because it saved me like $300-400 as far as flights are concerned, by just going to another place. So don't just set your sights on like, I'm only going to Paris and that's it. Get somewhere else. Even if you just stay straight at the airport, like you can get to Barcelona, and then before you leave, like, you know, already have your other flight set up so that way you can get to your final destination. Or you can be like me and look at it as a sign like, oh, maybe I need to spend a couple of days in Barcelona. Check Skyscanner. Skyscanner.com is really easy to use. You can search from your home city to everywhere. When I search to everywhere, it is going to show me everywhere that I can go and for how much. And it's in order. It's in numerical order based on price. It's definitely worth it to check out the app daily. I check it out daily, and I set alerts on there. So you can set alerts for whatever city you're trying to go, or country, city, and the dates, and then it'll let you know if the price went down. Also check out Google Flights. If you go to google.com/flights, It's the same kind of thing. You can put in your city that you're from, and then you can leave the other side blank, and it'll show you everywhere you can go and for the prices. If you put in dates, then it's even better because it can show you, it'll have a map and it'll show you exactly where you can go based on that price. So it's really cool. And it makes it easier to pick where you want to go. So I guess the moral of the story is, don't have your sights set on one place. Just be open and free about it, and then who knows where you may end up. Be open, especially when there are glitch fairs or sales. Bentley, get down, sit down. Like, I'm sure you saw all the glitch fairs like on Twitter and stuff. If you see them, jump on it. Like, seriously, jump on it. Don't wait, just do it. Because it will not be there an hour later. Because once the big websites get a hold of it and they send it to their tens of thousands of subscribers, and then once the airline finds out about it, it's done. Also, when you get one of those fairs, or if you are looking at a glitch fair, don't call the airline. That's the biggest thing, because when you call the airline, you're basically telling them, hey, you know that $10 flight to Hawaii from Atlanta, does that really work? Don't call them, because they're going to now be alerted and they're going to go and rush to save money. All your friends are going to want to say, oh, I want to travel. I want to go international. I want to do this. I want to do that. Give them the opportunity, but don't wait on anybody to purchase tickets, whether you have to go alone or not. Some people don't like solo travel, but if you really want to go somewhere, don't wait on friends. I've been trying to go to Brazil for a long time. And if people aren't interested in going where you want to go, that's fine. Just go anyway, because if you're going to wait for somebody to come with you, then you'll probably never go. So just do it. Travel credit cards. Get those cards. Sign up for SkyMiles. Sign up for all of those reward programs for all of the airlines that you fly a lot, because next thing you know, you'll have free trips. So same thing with like the Delta, SkyMiles, Amex. If you get that, generally they have where you get 50,000 bonus miles. 50,000 miles right there is a trip. I used 60,000 of my miles to put down on my trip to Ghana, so I only had to pay under $400 to get to Ghana. So you don't really have to have a lot of money to go fabulous places. So my next trip that I'm planning to use my miles on is Brazil. So I'm really excited about that. So once again, like, flights to Brazil are $1,000, but I'm going to use my miles. I'm going to either pay it down with the miles or use all of my, or just buy the whole trip with miles, and then all I have to do is pay taxes. So if you are interested in doing something like that and you need a new credit card, I would suggest the Delta, SkyMiles, Amex, the American Airlines one. They give you 50,000 miles too. So I have miles on that one. And then also you have like Chase Sapphire, Capital One has a good one for travel. So those ones are even better, because then you can use them on any airline or most airlines. Don't overspend, of course, but you know, just do what's right for your finances. Check out places that are cheap when you get there. Like, for example, you go to Thailand, it's so cheap when you get there. You may only spend $20 a day on food and massages. When I was in Ghana, yes, it was, you know, typical tickets are like $800 to get there from the East Coast. However, once you get there, I calculated every single day. If I wanted to, if I didn't buy extra stuff, I could have spent $20 a day, and that's on food and like items that I bought. And I bought like fabric, clothes, everything. Everything was so cheap. Like dashikis that I bought, for example, $4 US. Pants that I got, $5. Book bags, $5. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, $5 a piece, if that, for like full meals. So think about that too, going to places that are cheap when you get there. You know, when you go to Paris, it's not going to be cheap when you get there. So just keep that in mind. Obviously, you know, definitely still go to Paris and stuff, but keep that in mind. If you want to save money, think about places that aren't that expensive once you get there. Last thing, Airbnb. Airbnb is a great option. Just look at the reviews. It's cheaper than a hotel, especially if you're going with a group of friends. It's cheaper, and then you don't have to be 4 to a bed, because we're grown and don't do 4 to a bed. So Airbnb is a great option, because like we did an Airbnb in Cape Coast, Ghana, and we each had our own room and our own bedroom. So it was like amazing. But if we would have spent more than that at a hotel, and we would have been crushed up in a room, one bathroom. So it's just way better. Airbnb, check it out. And some places, especially like if you're in probably Asia, Africa, South America, some of the places will have they'll have butlers, they'll have chefs there, they'll have chauffeurs, and that's included in the price because it's so cheaper, so much cheaper in certain places that you actually get all of that for your price. Also, there are really cool travel groups like the Nomadness Travel Tribe, which I am a part of, and I love it so much. My friend Sandra introduced me to Tribe, and I'm sure you've heard about them, but check them out. Go to their website. Also, you have to be invited into the Travel Tribe though, but if you know somebody in there, hit them up. And then of course you have Travel Noir, which is another big group of people, and they have TN District, which they do group trips. So both of them do group trips, and it's cool to have people that are like-minded and travel with you. When I went to Ghana, the girl that I went with, who's like my friend now, I met her in New Orleans. I was only spent 1 day with her, but we gelled so much and we found out that we're both in the same travel group. We went to Ghana together. And it was amazing. It was an amazing experience. Even though I hadn't been friends with her for years or anything, it was an amazing experience. And now we're going to be travel buddies and we're friends. So it's really cool just to be able to meet people that are like-minded, in case your friends don't like to travel, because everybody doesn't like to travel, and that's okay. It's not a big deal. So yeah, find some travel buddies. Doesn't have to be, you know, it could be friends of friends. So don't set your sights in one place. Don't wait for other people to book. If you see a great sale or a glitch, book, and don't call the airline. Be flexible with where you're flying from. But those are my tips. So again, happy traveling.